This is India Standard Time at Avas South Asia. Today, we're going live to Ayodhya, where senior journalist Rajesh Joshi is covering the event at Ayodhya, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Ram Temple on January 22nd. Rajesh, welcome to Avas South Asia. It's good to have you on this show.
Thank you so much.
Rajesh, let me begin by asking you, what is the situation in Ayodhya now? What is the state of the temple? You must have seen it. You've been there a couple of days already. Can you describe what you have seen so far?
Yes, I'm sitting in my hotel room right now, and the town is very quiet. It was foggy in the morning, but right now there's no activity where I'm sitting. But I visited the city yesterday and today also. And let me give you an overview of the town, what is happening right now. After the demolition of the Babri Mosque in 1992, 2 years after that, I visited this town in 94. And it was a dusty little town with hardly any activities. There was a makeshift temple, and there was a lot of apprehension in the air. And now, after so many years, when I visited the temple site yesterday, I could not recognize a thing. The entire town is has undergone a change. So,
Right.
it's being spruced up, the whole town, and it's a big project. It's a work in progress. Construction is
So
going
how
on
much has been
everywhere.
completed? How much of the temple has been
No,
completed?
I'll come to the temple later on because your viewers need to hold their breath a little more.
Okay.
Let me
All
talk
right.
about the town first.
Okay.
The town is being spruced up. Roads are being dug up, and there is construction activities happening. Some shops have been demolished, and the front portions of those shops to widen the roads. The front portion of those shops are being painted and plastered and all that. And there's a security, of course, round the clock security, very, very heavy and tight security in town.
Mhm.
Um, I'm part of a TV program, so I visit the studio, the makeshift studio. And yesterday I took a stroll. I decided to walk in the lanes and by lanes of this historic city. And I walked my way to the temple site, and I was expecting at least a half complete or a double story structure or something like that. I was expecting to see a spectacular scene because this is the epicenter of India's politics for the past so many decades, 3 4
40
decades.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, 40 years now. So I was expecting something spectacular, but when I entered the place, I was taken aback because everything is being constructed. Nothing is complete. People are not allowed to enter that particular site. The authorities have made a corridor where devotees come and in a file and go to the deity and just go out of that place. But all I saw was some workers working there. Stone is being cut and heavy lifting machines working, JCBs, and it's not near complete. I mean, it's far from being complete. It will take another 2.5 years, maybe 3 years to complete the project.
Really?
So everybody was in a hurry. Even in the town outside the temple construction site, everybody is in a hurry. They have been given a task, and they have to complete it before the main event on the 22nd of January, when Prime Minister Modi will come here, and the whole paraphernalia, creme de la creme, and people right from Amitabh Bachchan to everybody else, they will be here. So they have to put up a show without before the completion of the temple. So everything is like in turmoil in a
Yeah.
way.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
chaotic.
It's yeah, in a way it's a very chaotic. Although I must say that uh, uh, these cleaners and safai karmcharis, they are working round the clock. They
Mhm.
are keeping the whole place very neat and clean. But it's not happening. There's dust all around. If construction is going on, so you can't escape the dust and other chaos.
So one of the things, one of the criticisms about this whole event has come from many religious heads, especially the Shankaracharyas of Joshi Peeth and the Peeth in Uttarakhand and the Peeth in Puri, that you cannot inaugurate a half-constructed temple, that it cannot be, the prana pratishtapan cannot be done in a half-constructed temple. So, is there any sense of, did you get a sense of this concern in Ayodhya itself? Are people thinking about this?
You know what? People on the street, the common devotee,
Mm.
they are not bothered about it. What is going on between the Shankaracharyas and political entities and this party and that party? For them, it's a big deal. It's a huge thing that a temple is being constructed on the same place where Ram was born. So
Mm.
for them, everything else is immaterial. Whether Shankaracharya is right or wrong, whether political parties are right or wrong, poor people. I'm not talking about well-heeled people who come in their big SUVs and all that. People who have come from Gujarat, from Maharashtra. Some people have come on foot,
So
carrying
people have
their
already started arriving for it.
yeah, carrying their luggage on. Women from Nepal, hordes of men and women, all working people, all very, very poor people. They have started flocking the space, and they carry their luggage on their head, and they just want to have a glimpse of that place where Ram was born. That's what they have been told, and for them, it's immaterial whether Shankaracharya is saying something or not, or
Whether
Narendra
you
Modi.
can do
Yes,
a temple,
so that
half-constructed
yes,
temple.
that devotion is very, very touching. But we know, that nothing is beyond politics. It's everything is happening in the realm of politics. We
Yeah.
understand it.
So
That's why this hurry, the
I
election
was
is
going to ask
the
you
morning.
that.
Yeah.
What is the significance of this date of January 22nd? Because there is another criticism about that as well, which, as you say, people may not be bothered about, that this is not a month for muhurats at all. So January 22nd has been chosen for what reason?
So I think the political establishment, or the BJP, let's put it that way, they are also concerned about what is going to happen in the future. The election is around the corner, and the Supreme Court of India waited for 4 years. They had delivered this judgment in 2019, and since 2019, nothing happened. Now to 2024, so the BJP was in a hurry to put up a show that temple construction is over. Ram has come back to his own home, and we are the people who brought back, or Narendra Modi is the person who brought back Ram from Vanvas. So that's why I think it's 22nd of January. If there is a astrological significance, I'm not aware of that, even though my name is Joshi, but I have no idea about Jyotishi aspect of that. But political aspect definitely is very, very clear for everybody to see.
Yeah. So how many people are expected to flood this place? You say that people have already started coming in, and how many? What are the crowds
So
like?
VIPs, as media outlets and television channels have been reporting, that more than 3,000 VIPs have been invited, and they will come in there. Some of them will come in their chartered planes, and etc., etc. But common people who want to go there, I don't think they will be allowed inside the temple construction site on the 22nd and on the 21st and 22nd. After this whole Pran Pratishtha is over, then they will be allowed to visit the place. After all this VIP movement is over, then probably they will be allowed to visit the place. Not on the 22nd. I think if I remember correctly, there were some posters that common people or anybody will not be allowed inside that place. But people just want to be here in Ayodhya. Devotees, I'm talking about. Young people also, older people, women, they just want to be here. And some people were also collecting, soil, the earth from there,
Yeah.
from the construction site, and they will take it. It's a holy thing for them, and they are full of devotion. So I don't think, but this is the sentiment which will play up in the coming election.
And this is
They will
exactly,
be reminded
yeah.
that Ayodhya is a holy place, and it's the BJP, it's Prime Minister Modi who has made this possible, who constructed this the temple. And if you talk to common people, they are also not bothered. The Supreme Court has made it possible, or is it the PM Modi? They don't ask this question.
Or even LK Advani, who started this whole movement. Does
You
anybody
asked a
remember
very
him in
important
Ayodhya?
thing. You know what? The surprising thing, I came by car from Lucknow to Ayodhya, and along the road, if it's a show, it's a political show, it's revolving around one person, Prime Minister Modi, nobody else. The only other face prominently projected on posters is RSS chief,
Right.
Mohan Bhagwat. Otherwise, I have not seen even a single poster of LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Sadhvi Ritambara, Uma Bharti, and all those. Vinay Katiyar is nowhere to be seen. Vinay Katiyar was one of the important people who spearheaded the movement here.
Correct.
And one poster, a few posters of Ashok Singhal are there. Ashok Singhal, who was the chief of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. But apart from that, it's all Modi, Modi, and Modi.
And not even Yogi's posters are there?
Yogi is there because it's Yogi's state, and Yogi has done a lot for this town. And people say very openly that it's thanks to Yogi that whatever developmental activities are happening in Ayodhya is thanks to Yogi, because this Ayodhya project is very close to Yogi's heart, and it is very apparent. Yogi's posters are there. But of course, Modi's face is like this big, and Yogi is smaller for obvious reasons. But yes, he is there, and the popularity of Yogi Adityanath is phenomenal. People talk about Narendra Modi. In this, I'm talking about only Ayodhya. I'm not talking about wider UP.
Yeah.
But in this town, people talk about Narendra Modi and then Yogi. Who is going to replace Modi? It's Yogi, obviously. The second choice is Yogi. So it's bad news for Amit Shah.
Right. So this may play out in BJP, within BJP in different ways. But you're saying that it will be obviously that the date and the event has been timed for the coming elections in the general elections in 2024, and that they will milk it. And are you also saying that absolutely no one has expressed concern that this is a religious matter has been politicized to this extent? There's nobody saying this. There's no voice.
Nirupama, it's an intellectual exercise. People like you and me and other journalists, we talk about it that is mixing up religion and politics is dangerous and all that. But if you talk to common people here,
Shankaracharyas are saying it, not just
yeah. I mean, people are really not talking about it. But you know what? I talked to a senior Samajwadi Party leader yesterday, and he said, we have a presence in Ayodhya town, but we don't disturb other people's political program. If we are holding a program, if Samajwadi Party is holding a program, a public rally or something, we will put up our posters and flags and all that. They will not come to disturb us. That's why we are not making any show against it or about it. We are not doing that. This is the culture of this city. So I mean, of course, there is a sort of pro-Ram, pro-BJP, pro-Hindutva atmosphere in Ayodhya. That doesn't mean that other political parties do not exist here in this area, in UP. So, of course, there are Samajwadi parties there, a big presence.
Congress? Is there
Congress is there.
So what are they
Congress is there, but Congress is not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are not attending as they've been invited in Delhi. Sonia Gandhi has said she will not attend it. So what does the local Congress react? How is the local Congress reacting to this event? And
so,
that their bosses from Delhi are not coming.
It's a catch-22 situation for local spokespersons. I was on a TV show yesterday, and Congress spokesperson was, it was very difficult for him to defend his his position as a spokesperson, and also sitting in Ayodhya, and also defend his central leadership. Central leadership has said no, we are not coming. But at the local level, they can't afford to articulate, even say anything against this whole supremacy of Hindu ideology. They are saying Ram to hamare hain, ये Hindu dharm to hamara hai. They are trying to appropriate it, but it's too late. It's too late for them. And I don't know, because this has been timed in a very, very clever manner. This timing of 22nd of January. Rahul Gandhi is taking out a yatra from there, but I have not watched TV, but I think everyone is talking about Ram and Ayodhya temple. Nobody is talking about Rahul Gandhi's yatra. And there's a multi-pronged strategy or multi-pronged attack on Rahul Gandhi's yatra. So one person is talking about Ayodhya and religiosity and Hindu dharma, and other people are saying that the Congress party is anti-Ram, anti-Hindu, anti-India. So they are making it into a big binary.
Who are these people who are saying these things?
So I think, some, of course, people who belong to the Sangh Parivar, VHP, Bajrang Dal, BJP. But apart from that, some people who pretend to be very independent-minded, but they side with this ideology. So they, in a garb of being independent-minded and non-partisan, they are also saying that Congress, there's a history of Congress party that they have always acted against the Hindu or the majority community, which may not be correct position.
Yeah, that's right. But tell me one thing, there are also Muslims in Ayodhya, and there is supposed to be a mosque coming up very close to or a little distance from the site of the former Babri Masjid, which has been broken, and that is where the temple is coming up. So what is the progress on that mosque? Have you been to that site?
No, I will go there. I'm planning to go there tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But I have read stories that there were some problems, some impediments. Either there are no funds, or bureaucrats are not very enthusiastic about it. So some Muslim organizations are planning to launch a move. I was reading this story in the morning. I can't really confirm it. I'm not in a position to confirm the story, how authentic it is. But they are planning, according to this story, they are planning to launch a nationwide or a UP-wide agitation to mobilize people in favor of that mosque. So that mosque is outside the vicinity of Ayodhya town, I think 35 kilometers away from here. But yes, there is a piece of land, and construction will happen there. I don't know how the government is going to react, how the BJP is going to react, because, for BJP, for Prime Minister Modi also, Muslims, they have not completely forgotten Muslims. The Pasmanda thing, the whole Pasmanda thing, which Prime Minister talked about. Then Prime Minister sent a chadar to Ajmer Sharif. So he's trying to address the Muslim constituency also. So maybe he can come up with a clever idea that we are also going to help in this mosque construction in a very subtle way. He doesn't want to, of course, he won't anger his Hindu constituency.
Or constituency.
For political reasons, they might say some positive things about that mosque also. But I have to go there. I will visit there. But otherwise, Muslims in Faizabad, I went to Faizabad also. Faizabad, they are very quiet. There's no sense of agitation. There's no anger, because Muslims have reacted in a very sane way. After the Supreme Court delivered its judgment, they did not react. They accepted it. And Muslims, from the very beginning, had been saying that we will accept whatever the Supreme Court says. It was the BJP, if you remember, it was the BJP which passed a resolution. I'm sorry, this phone. Which passed a resolution that आस्था के सवाल को कोर्ट तय नहीं कर सकता है. आस्था के सवाल को कोर्ट तय नहीं कर सकता है. That's what the BJP has said. So just imagine if the Supreme Court had said there was no temple there, that the title deed is that belongs to the Muslim Pakshkars. Would Can you imagine if the BJP would have accepted it? There would have been another agitation, in the entire length and breadth of the country. So Muslims have behaved in a very restrained manner. There are no posters there. They are actually invisible in this town. I haven't seen an organized group of Muslims. Of course, Muslims are there. They are living. I'm not saying they are living in fear, but they have become quieter.
So, tell me, I mean, is there also in Ayodhya, it's now, or it's going to be very big with religious tourism, and land values and land prices must have gone up enormously. So, are there hotels coming up? Is all that happening? The infrastructure
Yes.
to fix this many tourists?
Oh, yes, of course. As I told you, a lot of developmental activities are happening. There's a brand new railway station. There's a brand new airport. They are saying it's going to be an international airport. And somebody was telling me 7 or 8 5-star hotels are coming up. Overall, 30 hotels are coming up. Very, very. So the government, I think, government they have a plan to transform Ayodhya into a world-class city, world-class tourist destination like Agra. Agra, people come to Agra for the Taj Mahal. So people should come to, that's what they are expecting, that people from all over the world will forget about Agra. A Mughal, monument is there, and they come to see the Ram temple. So that's the plan, I think.
Right. So, one last question and I'll let you go. You visited Ayodhya in 1992, if I'm not mistaken, after the
demolition, 94, I think, 93 or 94.
93 or 94. And now you've come 30 years later to cover this. That was a very India-changing event. It changed in 1992. What happened in 1992 changed India forever. How is this going to change India now? The event on January 22nd, 2024.
No, I think I don't look at it.
Character of India.
Yeah, no, I don't look at it as a switch on, switch off kind of an event.
Yeah.
And even on the 2nd of December, 6th of December 1992, there was no switching on or switching off of this history of India. It's a gradual process. And the gradual process started long time ago in 1983 or 84, after Indira Gandhi ordered the army to storm the Golden Temple. And Congress party became a sort of Hindu party. And that jolted the RSS. What is happening? Our mass base is slipping. So they became very aggressive, and they found this Ram Janmabhoomi issue. And I remember, I was a student back then. I remember the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, I think they took out a Ram Janki Yatra, Ekatmata Yagya, all these small yatras, processions and yatras across India, especially across North India. So that's how they started mobilizing people. And people like me, my family, we realized for the first time that there's a temple in Ayodhya where Ram was born, and it's locked. My mother, I'm slightly digressing, but my mother and my father told us when we were kids that you come home before dusk, कोने में जाके मंदिर में बत्ती जलाइए, हनुमान चालीसा पढ़िए, and then start your studies. That's what Ram meant to us and family. It was never a political thing that you have to go out and chant slogans and harass others. It was never the kind of religion my parents and we practiced. So it was a gradual process where Hindus started thinking about past, that in the past we were wronged. We were wronged by people like Babar, and others also joined, Babar, Aurangzeb, and other people. Even Akbar the Great, we studied history, and Akbar was Akbar the Great. But now Akbar has also become a villain. His Sulh-Kul and secularism has gone down the drain. So that was not an event that suddenly changed the whole atmosphere for Indian politics. I think it's a gradual process, and this, according to me, if I just things correctly, if I don't know, but this process has just begun. 6th of December 1992 was one event. This is another event, but it's a gradual process. It will continue to grow, and I don't know in the next 20-25 years what shape India is going to take and what shape Indian constitution is going to take. In just last thing, the
So
RSS
when you
is
say
going to
it's going to continue, there's Kashi, there's Mathura. Is that all? Are you including all those in this?
yeah, Mathura and
Kashi, for instance.
Vishwanath, no, the Mathura and Kashi. Of course, these are two big demands of the BHP. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about the Constitution of India. What is going to happen to the Constitution of India if Narendra Modi government comes back in 2024? So I mean, the government is not saying that, the BJP is not saying that, but there are people sympathetic to the government, people like Govindacharya. They are on record that we want to change this constitution. The Prime Minister's right-hand man, economic advisor, Vivek Devroy, he has said, scrap this constitution. This doesn't work for new India. So I'm not making any predictions, but I'm not saying that I'm not in a position to predict that this is going to happen 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line. But it's that gradual process will take its course. And in 2025, the RSS is going to complete its 100 years of existence. That's going to be another big event and series of events, not only in India but abroad also. VHP is very strong in the US and in the UK also. So they are going to make it into a big thing. So let's wait and watch.
More is in store.
More is in store.
Thank you so much, Rajesh Joshi. We'll come back to you again during your stay in Ayodhya up to the 22nd of January. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening, viewers. If you like this program, press the subscribe button. Follow updates on avazsouthasia.com.